The day a single father gave a billionaire's disabled daughter hope again, the day he almost lost everything, became the day he gave someone else a reason to live again. Rain was falling like the sky had finally given up, and Arman stood outside the hospital gate, his shirt soaked, his hands trembling, not from the cold, but from the quiet fear that had been living inside him for years. He wasn't supposed to be here, not today. Not when he could barely afford his son's school fees, not when life had already taken too much from him. But fate has a strange way of dragging broken people into moments that change everything. If you believe that even the smallest act of kindness can change a life, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, do you believe in second chances? Arman wasn't always like this. Once he had dreams, big ones. He had a wife who laughed loudly, a small house filled with warmth, and a future that felt safe. But life doesn't ask before it takes. A sudden illness took his wife away, leaving him alone with a 3-year-old son and a mountain of responsibilities. Since that day, Arman had been fighting a silent war, one where there were no breaks, no victories, just survival. He worked 2 jobs, one as a cleaner at a construction site, another as a night guard at a warehouse. His hands were always rough, his back always aching, but his heart stayed soft because of one reason: his son Zayn. That little boy was his entire world, his reason to wake up, to keep going, to keep believing that maybe someday things would get better. But today wasn't one of those hopeful days. Zayn had fallen sick again. The doctor had said it was nothing serious, just a viral infection, but the medicines weren't cheap. Arman had already borrowed money from neighbors, skipped meals, and sold his last valuable possession, his wife's old ring. Still, it wasn't enough. That's why he stood outside the hospital hesitating. He wasn't there for charity. He wasn't there to beg. But desperation has a way of bending pride. As he stepped inside, the cold, sterile air hit him, along with a feeling he couldn't explain. The hospital was quiet, almost too quiet, like something important was happening behind those closed doors. Arman walked slowly through the hallway, unsure of where to go. He wasn't educated, didn't understand hospital systems, and truthfully, he felt out of place. His worn-out clothes and tired eyes made him invisible to most people passing by. That's when it happened. He accidentally entered the wrong room. Inside, everything looked different. Expensive machines, soft lighting, and a silence that didn't feel empty, but heavy. On the bed lay a young girl, maybe around 10 or 11, her fragile body surrounded by wires and monitors. She couldn't move much, and her eyes carried a sadness far too deep for someone so young. Arman froze. He realized immediately he wasn't supposed to be there. He turned to leave, but something stopped him. Maybe it was the way she was staring at the ceiling, like she had forgotten how to hope. Maybe it was the loneliness in that room. He slowly stepped closer. Girl noticed him, her eyes shifting slightly. There was curiosity there, but no fear. As if she had grown used to strangers coming and going, doctors checking her, nurses adjusting machines, but no one staying long enough to see her as a person. Arman didn't know what to say. He wasn't good with words. But sometimes words aren't what people